Hello and welcome back. So now we will first cater this problem of why do we need to use Deno, right? So Deno is a replacement or a so-called replacement of Node, right? So first let's understand what's the background story of it, right? So the creator of Node.js regretted, and it's true because there is a talk about Node.js problems or design problems, and that talk is given by Ryan Dahl itself, right? He clearly says that there were a few mistakes which he could not realize while making Node, right? So let's see what are those mistakes. So I'll be just putting some mistakes, and for others you can go to YouTube and you can Google it out. It's a very famous talk to understand this, right? And I fairly recommend it to listen to it. So first mistake according to him was not sticking to promises. Like, promises are necessary arbitration of async await, right? We will get into this when we start building our API. I'll show you how Deno resolves this problem, right? The second was security, which is a very, very important thing. In a Node.js program, you have access to all sorts of system calls. You can access your networks, you can access file systems, you can do anything, right? No one can stop you after you have installed a package and after the package starts running on a Node.js server, right? But Deno solves that problem, and how it solves we'll discuss in the subsequent lectures. Talking about the build system, Node.js is actually built using GYP, which was later adopted by Chrome, but Node continued using it. Right now, this is actually something because it happened because they could not discontinue it because it was by default there in their design, and when you make design mistakes or architectural mistakes, it is very difficult to solve, right? Fourth was using the package.json. Now this was a huge thing because it made all the packages dependent on npm, which is privately controlled repository, right? So centralization of all the packages came up. That was annoying. As of now, centralization of packages have become, and npm is the core place where you get npm and yarn, both places, but fairly npm is the core place where you can get like 350,000 packages, and it is fairly centralized. Deno solves this problem by introducing decentralized system, and how it does it, we'll see it in the later part of this video. Talking about node modules, it's called the heaviest object in the universe. It's a very, very famous joke in the Node.js community. It is actually such heavy that we as a developer we actually don't post it or don't commit it on GitHub. We actually post the complete code without node modules, and then say the person or anyone downloading the program or Node.js code knows that he or she has to run npm install, wherein the npm install will go into the package.json, refer to all the dev dependencies and dependencies, and install it once again, right? This is just because of the size of node modules, and we'll show how Deno solves it by just caching a very limited amount of space, and it is very, very efficient. And we'll talk about this at a later video. We'll see dedicated videos on each and everything, right? So Deno is a secured runtime for JavaScript and TypeScript, right? It is built on Rust, right? Which is a very, very popular and a very performant language. It is even more performant as compared to C++, right? It uses V8 engine, right? It uses Tokyo at the backend, wherein Rust and Tokyo integrates in a very well-fashioned manner, right? It supports TypeScript out of the box, and I've only put some things here. I will be talking about other Deno features in the subsequent videos, and we'll be discussing each and every feature in detail. We have got like dedicated videos on it, right? Some more things, like it ships a single executable, so it has got that ability to make a single executable file with no dependencies, right? So you can imagine how powerful is it. You write a big program, so many API calls, you convert it into a single executable, and you use a pen drive or anything to transport that executable, and that executable can run anywhere, right? That is actually awesome. Now it's highly secure, so no network or environmental access or any kind of access is given unless explicitly enabled. So it basically follows a concept of sandboxing, which we'll discuss in the later part of this course, right? Has a built-in tooling support like dependency inspector, testing, formatter, linter, etc, etc. We have also got a dedicated videos on this. We will be discussing on this, right? And it bundles into a single JavaScript file. It has also got a bundler which can help you in bundling like hundreds of TypeScript or JavaScript file into one file and then send it for like final production use, right? So we do not have to use Webpack. Just for the information's sake, I'm saying we do not have to use Webpack in this case, right? So we don't have to configure anything. Everything comes out of the box, right? Now, understanding and reading this feels very, very good, because you feel like Deno has got a upper hand when compared to Node. And obviously, yes, it has got an upper hand, and it is actually solving problems which Node by default had it in its design, right? So now in the next video, we'll proceed further.